I welcome you once again to this segment of our learning program. Our subject for today is creative art. Our topic is on visual artworks. And our subtopic is using visual artworks to solve problems in our communities. Let's repeat that together. Using visual artworks to solve problems in our communities. What are we supposed to learn at the end of this lesson? At the end of this lesson, you can identify topical issues in your communities. Secondly, you can relate and connect these topical issues as arising problems in your community in a sensitive manner. You also identify some causes of these problems. You can solve a problem using posters. Let's look at it again. You can identify topical issues in your community. You can relate and connect topical issues as arising problems in your community in a sensitive manner. You also identify some causes of these problems in your community. You can solve a problem using posters. Get ready for the lesson. Some topical issues related to problems in your community. 1. Let's do this together. Sanitation or improper disposal of waste. 2. Flooding. 3. Road safety. 4. Burglary or theft. Let's go over it again. Sanitation or improper disposal of waste. Flooding, road safety, burglary or theft. When we look at sanitation related problems in our community, it is mainly geared towards improper waste disposal. When we look at flooding, it's a situation whereby our communities are engulfed with flood or rain water as a result of a high rainfall pattern or a heavy downpour. When we come to road safety, we can talk about issues such as overspeeding, drinking and driving, overloading, and driving recklessly or carelessly. When we come to burglary or theft, burglary is when robbers or thieves encroach on our homes or houses and make away with our personal effects or personal belongings. Good. Let's move on. Solving a problem in your community using posters or a poster. On our left, on our right, let's observe both pictures carefully. Don't forget the information that it will send into your mind. Look at it with your full attention. Very good. Let's come to the picture on our left. That is on sanitation problem. And it talks about improper dumping of refuse. As we can see, someone has thrown or dumped refuse on the floor in a situation whereby there is a waste bin. That is very bad, isn't it? You are supposed to dump the refuse into the waste bin, not on the floor. Not even in the absence of a waste bin. Good. Now let's look at some of the causes of this problem. Causes: ignorance and lack of education. Some people ignorantly do these things because they lack education, and so they need to be educated on the problems or the effects that such actions or acts bring upon our society or community. And so out of ignorance or lack of education, some people commit these acts or offenses. Below the ignorance and lack of education, we have carelessness and stubbornness. All these are behavioral defects or some people's attitude or character, which we've mentioned as carelessness and stubbornness. Some people careless, irrespective of the effects that these actions will bring upon them and the entire community, and so therefore they decide to dump waste haphazardly. Some people are also stubborn, and so they don't even care or respect the values of the community. And so due to their stubborn nature, they commit unnecessary and unacceptable actions, regardless of the bad things or the effects they may bring upon the community. Good, let's continue. What's the solution to this problem? Improper dumping of refuse. That is, dumping of refuse into waste bins properly. The problem is improper disposal of waste, which we looked at. That was very bad. Now let's look at the solution. As we can see on the picture on our right, someone is dumping refuse or rubbish into the waste bin and dumping it properly with the waste bin covered. This is a nice or an acceptable or a good way of dumping refuse. So if you want to solve this problem using posters, you can apply the skills that you have learned so far in your creative arts lessons to make drawings or sketches on a paper, let's say an A4 sheet. Concerning these actions, you can even draw the bad way of disposing waste on one side of your sheet, and then solving the problem or correcting it by drawing the proper way of disposing it on another side. And as you can see in the picture, writing this is bad for the bad way of disposing the waste, and writing this is good for the proper way of disposing the waste, and then posting it in our community to educate the general public on proper disposal of waste. Very good. Let's move on. Another problem here is flooding. Let's observe the pictures very well. on our immediate left. Good. We can see the way flood has engulfed the entire community. Looking at the first picture on top, the whole place is flooded in such a way that a little boy only had to save his life by standing on a car. Wow, look at the level of the water. Now let's look down there. We have some people also finding it difficult to even have a way out of the flood, which is very dangerous, as we can see. This is endangering the lives of people in the community, regardless of talking about the loss of property. Wow, look at the cars over there swimming, excuse me to use that word, in the flood. Floating is the right word. Wow, that's serious. What are some of the causes of these actions? The pictures themselves speak about the effects, regardless of talking about them. Now, what are the causes? On our right, let's quickly look at the causes, or some of the causes of flooding. Causes: dumping of refuse into gutters. As we can see the picture on our right top, the woman is doing something which is awful. What is the woman doing over there? Right, she is throwing both liquid and solid waste into the gutter. The gutter is already choked. When this happens, it becomes very difficult for water to have a free flow whenever it rains heavily. And so, for that matter, the gutters overflow and then find their way to our homes in wrong places, flooding the whole community. This endangers both life and properties. Secondly, below the woman, building on waterways. We can see a building there that has water all over. Yes, when we decide to construct our buildings at places that are supposed to be for passage or passages for water, this makes it difficult for the water, such as river connections and waterways, to flow. And so, for that matter, when there is a heavy downpour and it is difficult for the water to flow, it rushes and then eludes our houses. For that matter, when we build at swampy or waterlogged areas, it causes flood to engulf or elude our houses. This is another cause of flooding. Building on waterways. Good. Let's move on. What's the solution to this flooding and its causes? 1. On our left, dumping refuse into waste bins properly. Very good. When we always adopt The character of dumping waste into waste bins and not gutters. This will prevent or avoid gutters from being choked, so as to allow the free flow of water whenever there is a heavy or a high rainfall pattern or downpour, to prevent flooding. Another solution is clearing or cleaning gutters frequently. When we always develop the habit of checking and cleaning gutters in our community, it will prevent our gutters from being choked, and this will also go a long way to check flooding in our communities. And so let's go over this solution once again. Solution to flooding in our community: 1. Dumping refuse into waste bins properly. 2. Clearing or cleaning gutters frequently. Very well. Now we come to the conclusion of our lesson. What have we learned today? We learned about topical issues. We related these topical issues to problems in our community. We also looked at some causes of these problems in our community. We also learned how to solve a problem using posters. Now, before we look at our assignment, let's go over the conclusion again. We looked at topical issues, related them to issues or problems in our community. We also looked at some causes of these problems in our community. We learned how to solve these problems using posters. I hope you've really enjoyed the lesson. Thank you for your attention. Let's have our assignment now. Number 1. State a problem in your community. 2. Mention 2 causes of these problems. 3. Use a poster to solve the problem. Let's go over the questions again. Number 1. State a problem in your community. 2. Mention 2 causes of these problems. 3. Use a poster to solve the problem. Good. Now let's take note of this. A poster is a visual communication tool. It gives a vital or unimportant information to the general public. Now let's look at the characteristics of a poster, or how a poster is supposed to look like. A poster is either designed in text. When we say text, it is the written form. It can be designed in written form by using the letters of the alphabet to write them, giving the information to the general public. Or it can also be designed with pictures. As it is said, pictures speak 1,000 words, or a picture speaks 1,000 words. Even if one is not, educated, that person can look at a picture and it will communicate words to that person and match meaning. Good. Or this same poster can be designed by using both text, which is the written form, as well as pictures together. I repeat again, a poster can also be designed in both text and pictures. See you same time. Goodbye.